This is perhaps the biggest gamble of the 21st century. For the first time in 30 years, a sitting American president is going to meet a sitting Russian president on US soil. This could be a moment which could define Trump's legacy, where he could be known as he tamed a lion, or it could be a time where he set up a political firestorm. Hi guys, welcome to my channel Everything with Dr. James. Today we are going to be speaking about tomorrow's meeting of Trump with Putin and what global implications it has. The stage for this high profile meeting between US President Donald Trump and Putin has been set in Anchorage, which is in Alaska. This place is instantly a place where literally the East meets the West, and it was a part of Russia only in 1860s. Then it was given by Russia to USA for a substantial amount of money. This place during Cold War between Soviet Union and USA was a place where a lot of outposts were placed, because this is situated close to the Soviet Union, and it was a place where spy planes used to fly around. But today it is a place going to be known in history as a place which reshaped our geopolitical future. This is only a symbolic victory for Putin, because no sitting Russian president has traveled in the last 30 years to US to meet with the US president, and this meeting is far from the neutral grounds of Washington. Now, the last meeting which happened was in 1988 December, when the aging Ronald Reagan met the rising Gorbachev of Soviet Union, with President-elect George H.W. Bush sitting there. Now, this was the time when the Soviet Union had said that they will reduce their forces to the UN. To be a commemoration of this, these three presidents met and they discussed about this. And today, fast forward 2025, this meeting in Anchorage in Alaska, where they are going to speak about Russia be able to de-escalate their strategies in Ukraine, such that the war in Ukraine can come to an end. This meeting was not set up overnight. This was a series of diplomatic cables which have been running ever since Trump has been elected, because in Trump's political campaign to get elected, he had always been saying that this war will get over in 24 hours if I come into power. But once he came into power, the stark reality of geopolitics struck him, and it's been 8 months and still he's been struggling to make Ukraine and Russia come to an agreement. This was first started in February 2025, when Putin and Trump had a phone call and they spoke about this. Now all has boiled down to Alaska tomorrow, where it is going to reshape how the geopolitics is going to be happening in the coming years. Before we get into this political minefield which is going to happen tomorrow, let's understand the intrinsic relationship between the US President Donald Trump and the Russian President Putin. Both of them have met each other in Helsinki 2018, and that memory is going to haunt them forever. Let's see what happened in Helsinki 2018. That was a time of turmoil, because in 2018, entire USA media outlets were saying that Russia interfered with our elections in 2016. And the meeting was happening in the background of this. Immediately once Donald Trump and Putin went into the meeting, they wanted a one-on-one meeting with only their translators present behind closed doors. The meeting lasted for 2 long hours. There were no diplomats, no high-ranking officials present there. Immediately once they came out, there was a press conference. And in that press conference, as expected, one media outlet asked Trump, "What do you think about Russia's interference with the USA elections in 2016? And immediately Trump's response was, "The Russian president has assured me that they did not interfere with the elections. Why would it be?" Now, this was a backlash, because the entire USA intelligence community has said that Russia has interfered with the elections. We have definitive proof for it. Now, their own president is believing the words of a Russian president over his own intelligence community, and the media outlets had a field day and they were saying a lot of things about Trump. Immediately, Trump retracted his statement, not "why would it be," but "why wouldn't it be?" But the damage was already done, and then he had to retract his statement. Now, this was a victory for Putin, because in his mind he has made the American president believe him, and such that in front of the whole world he went against his own intelligence community, and he made the Russian president more powerful in that scenario. Today, when they are going into the meeting on August 15, Donald Trump and Putin will be vividly reminded of this meet in Helsinki in 2018, because tomorrow also it is going to be a one-on-one meeting only with translators present, and both of them will be clear on what they want. Now let's see what is going to be the agenda in this meeting. The main agenda in this meeting is going to be Ukraine. Ukraine war has been going on for the last 3 years and it has killed a lot of people. Now let's see what both sides want. Ukraine wants to re-establish its 1991 borders, which means that Russia should give back Crimea to Ukraine also, which is not going to be possible. Now let's see what Russia wants. Russia wants 4 regions in Ukraine as of now. Of course, if these talks go well and Putin might come down and say that give me at least this Donbass region, and this is going to be a diplomatic battle when they talk for de-escalation. Interestingly, in this talk, the main person who is needed for this talk, the Ukrainian President Zelensky, has not been invited. Now, what Trump and Putin are going to discuss is mainly going to be the Ukraine war, and to threaten Putin, Trump can put an oil embargo on Russia, which can literally cripple Russia's economy. Now, let's see what can Trump do tomorrow to make sure the de-escalation in Ukraine happens. Now, let's see the 3 scenarios which can play out tomorrow. The first scenario is where Trump wins. Putin agrees for an immediate ceasefire. He gives in to Trump's demand where he's going to threaten saying, I'm going to put an oil embargo on you, and he says that he will de-escalate in Ukraine. Though it is not going to be an immediate de-escalation, at least it will put a path to peace in the war between Russia and Ukraine. And Trump wins, and his legacy is etched forever as a person who stopped the Russia and Ukraine war. Now let's see the second scenario. This is going to be a disaster. The meeting breaks down and Putin says that he's going to escalate the war, and this is going to be very bad because the war will go on and people will die. This scenario must not happen at all. But the third scenario is going to be the most likely scenario where a frozen diplomacy is going to be happen. Both sides are going to talk for a couple of hours and come out and say that the meeting went smooth, bilateral talks have been made, a mutual understanding has been reached, and we will work towards peace, and the war is going to happen as it is, and Trump will move on with his life. Most probably this is what is going to happen, but this is a good step forward with the Russian president meeting with the USA president, such that these two superpowers can discuss in such a way that the war can be ended. Either Trump can say about the oil embargo to Putin and Putin can give in, or Putin also can talk to Trump as actually what he wants and what he will do to stop the war, because this war, as it goes on, we are going to kill a lot of people, and that is unacceptable. The meeting in Anchorage is going to be more than a meeting. It is going to be a place which is going to reshape our geopolitical future tomorrow, because the ways in which this meeting can end can be either marvelous or catastrophic. Do like, share and subscribe me for more interesting.